One initiative in Athens is trying to solve the problem of food insecurity. Plus, farms in southeast Ohio are struggling with the April snow.
And in sports, Ohio softball traveled to Columbus to take on Ohio State. See how they did.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
A civil rights investigation is underway at Athens City Schools. Good evening, I'm Matt Cuddy. Thanks for joining us. WB has learned the Athens City School District is investigating possible racial slurs and harassment that led to a student fight at the high school. According to his parents, sophomore Isaiah Butcher was suspended Tuesday after a report of a fight with another student who is also suspended. This is a screenshot of text messages reportedly sent to Butcher. The authors of the messages have not been independently verified, but Butcher says they were given to school administrators as part of the investigation. Butcher's father says his son has been allowed to return to school after being suspended for 2 days. Athens City Schools Superintendent Tom Gibbs declined to comment on the case, but said it is common for a student to return to school while a civil rights investigation is underway. The Vinton County Superintendent says students will not be permitted to leave the building tomorrow for the National School Walkout. The walkout is coordinated by students throughout the country in an effort to continue the conversation about gun legislation. Superintendent Rick Brooks says the district will instead incorporate safety education activities throughout the day. Brooks says he acknowledges the students' concerns and the district will address any safety issues. The students in Athens City Schools will be leaving the building during the walkout. The walkout is a student-led protest and is not a school event. Students need permission from their parents to leave the school, or else it is an unexcused absence. The walkout is scheduled for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. WB also contacted the 4 other districts in Athens County. None of the superintendents knew of any plans. An Athens County man convicted for shooting his girlfriend in the face has been sentenced to prison. Christopher Artis was sentenced to 4 years and 11 months as well as 3 years of post-release control. On February 27th, Artis shot his girlfriend Christy Holland in the face. Holland was transported to Grant Riverside Hospital in Columbus and eventually survived. Ohio University Credit Union has named Corey Corrigan as their new Chief Executive Officer. Corrigan is the current Financial Services Vice President. He's taking over for Phil Meyer, who is retiring at the end of April after 20 years of service. Corrigan is a graduate of Athens High School and received a business degree from Ohio University. With a large percentage of Athens residents struggling to put food on the table, a local organization is helping people provide their own food starting from the ground up. Newswatch reporter Rogine Evans has how one organization is providing seeds and a garden space.
Athens County has the highest rate of food insecurity in the state, according to a study by a domestic hunger relief organization. The Community Food Initiative's goal is to bring local, healthy food to those in need. And they do that in a variety of ways.
We have community gardens, school gardens. We have a seed company, Ridge and Hollow Seed Alliance now, and it's openly pollinated seeds that we work with other farmers to collect. And then we have a donation station, Discovery Kitchen, which is what I work with at the farmers market and produce auction. And that's like distributing food and getting food out to pantries. Yeah.
The Community Food Initiative has 5 community gardens on the east and south side of Athens, Chansey, Nelsonville, and Gloucester.
Community gardens are a vital resource in Athens. Majority of the food grown in local gardens are given away to community members and are donated to local food pantries.
So it can help community members who don't have access to food, especially in areas close by like Vinton County where there are food deserts and they don't have access to grocery stores with fresh produce, so they can grow their own food.
A food desert has limited access to nutritional and affordable foods such as fresh fruit and vegetables. Even though a market opened last year in MacArthur to end that drought, 60% of Vinton County residents still don't have cars to get to the grocery store. Community gardens and sustenance farming are options that allow people to sustain their families in a cost-effective way.
Community Food Initiative distributes to 41 partner pantries and social service agencies in 5 counties. CFI will be at the Farmers Market on East State Street at their donation station this Saturday at 9 a.m.
Welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm your forecaster, Cameron Saliga, and as you can tell, there are some cloudy skies out there that are going to be moving out of the area as there's a high pressure moving through. And as right now, there are temperatures in the 40s moving out of the area as there is sunshine moving in, with a freeze warning in effect actually tonight from 2 a.m. till 8 a.m. tomorrow, as temperatures will go down to the 30s tonight with a weekend warm-up. And right now, as you can see, temps are decreasing with winds out of the north-northwest at 4 miles per hour and cloudy skies. Up this weekend, there should be some nice weather.
Yeah,
back to you, Matt.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's been pretty cold this week, so hopefully the sun comes out. Thanks, Cameron. A federal appeals court is agreeing that Planned Parenthood's constitutional rights were violated. Yesterday, the court blocked an Ohio law that is attempting to redirect state funds away from entities that perform or promote abortions, like Planned Parenthood. The legislation was signed by Governor Kasich in 2016. Your salad could be making you sick. That story's still ahead. Plus, how the cold weather is impacting your produce. Coming up when Newswatch returns.
We are here for the same reason, although I suspect we hope for different results.
You know what they say, yeah, the wicked get no rest.
I do not admire you for this.
Looking at my heart, in a place,
It's always sex, isn't it?
got so much to lose.
Love. Or judgment.
We are not amused.
Dear God. Travel on my left, travel on my right. I've been facing trouble on my side.
This is how you'll be a man.
Are you becoming squeamish?
Oh, God, your mother's here.
The lesbians. They're getting married. You're having a great time.
God, don't let me lose my mind.
Come and play with us.
Onward and onward!
Good ideas open up a whole new world of possibilities.
The more you know about history, the more you know about yourself.
The sky's the limit.
Where I go, there you are.
While many in the region are wishing for warmer temperatures, more consistent weather is especially important for local farmers. Newswatch reporter Lauren Ramoser talked to farmers to find out about the consequences of this year's odd climate.
It's mid-April, and just this week, snow fell on Athens. The winter continues to be oddly cold and long, and that impacts local farming, which serves an important role for the regional economy and food industry.
And for some farmers, that's going to affect how much they can produce of other things, because a lot of us use our ground multiple times. We'll harvest a bunch of carrots out of it and then immediately plant something else. So if those carrots are slow at getting out of the ground, because it's been too cold for them to grow quickly, then the next crop goes in a week late. And so it can have a kind of a domino effect across the season.
One problem is the inconsistency, because last year at the same time it was oddly warm. This is why farmers have a hard time preparing for the year. Ed Perkins owns his farm since the 1970s, but experience isn't the only thing he works with.
I know climate change is happening. I read the science. I hear the global reports of temperatures going up and more extremes, more weather events going on worldwide. But indeed, it seems to me getting more extreme, like this winter.
As Ed, there are many local farmers who sell their produce at the Athens Farmers Market. So far, the cold winter hasn't impacted the produce at the market yet.
Well, everything now is still grown indoors, so it's not an issue yet. We may be a week late on some things, but not any more than that.
Although changing climate will impact every area, farms in southeast Ohio will have an advantage to bigger agricultural areas.
This is really a very good agricultural area because we still get plenty of rain. I don't think this particular area of the east is that prone to the extremes that are coming to other areas. So far, it's hilly land, but farms like this growing produce can thrive because we take smaller acreage and we can be up on the ridge tops like this farm is, or down in the valley bottoms.
Even with more consistent weather conditions, spring is a challenging season for local farmers, but they have to work it out.
We don't have a farming alternative, but no. Not a proportionate alternative. So the thing that's really challenging about spring is that produce farmers in general, we're not making much money in spring.
Especially small farms are dependent on weather, and this year's cold winter might have a downhill effect on the whole year of local produce.
The Athens Farmers Market has up to 80 vendors and provides local produce each Wednesday and Saturday in the Athens Mall parking lot on East State Street. The power is coming back on in Puerto Rico one day after a massive blackout impacted the entire island. Puerto Rico's power company says about 70% of customers now have power restored. That's about 1.1 million homes and businesses. Officials said a contractor removing a fallen tower Wednesday caused the blackout. Puerto Rico has been struggling to recover ever since Hurricane Maria slammed the island in September 2017. Hawaii is struggling to restore its power after heavy rains and extreme flooding. More than 425 people have been evacuated from Hawaii's Kauai County since Monday. A new round of flooding is possible. Rescuers had to use helicopters and even jet skis to get stranded people to safety. The mayor's office says it's the worst natural disaster to occur in Kauai in 25 years. A flash flood watch for all Hawaiian islands is in effect through Friday afternoon. Cuba has a new president, and for the first time in 40 years, his last name is not Castro. Miguel Diaz-Canel was confirmed as the new president this morning, replacing 86-year-old Raul Castro. Diaz-Canel had been first vice president of the island since 2013 and will have a 10-year limit on his presidency. The new president will be facing the challenges of a younger and more restless Cuban generation. Raul Castro will serve as the head of the country's Communist Party. And another communist nation, North Korea, was the main subject of discussion for President Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. The heads of state concluded their Florida meeting last night, and both leaders vowed to keep up the maximum pressure campaign against North Korea until the nation stops its nuclear program.
Just because North Korea is responding to dialogue, there should be no reward. Maximum pressure should be maintained, and actual implementation of concrete actions towards denuclearization will be demanded.
Both leaders praised each other and reaffirmed the alliance between the United States and Japan. If you regularly eat salads, you may want to reconsider. The Centers for Disease Control say to stay away from all chopped romaine lettuce. The CDC says an E. coli outbreak linked to chopped romaine has affected at least 53 people in the last month. Illnesses were reported in 16 states, most from Idaho, Montana, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. The CDC says if you have store-bought chopped romaine lettuce at home, throw it away. The region might be hoping for warmer weather, but see how the heat waves impacts the Great Barrier Reef. That story's still ahead.
There's a warm-up on the way this weekend, that much and more. But first, here's a look at your local stocks of interest.
I don't mind saying it.
Now you look like an astronaut.
My dream is to walk on the moon.
2, 1.
Look at this place.
It's a crazy design.
It's nearly impossible.
What is the next step toward furthering our presence in the cosmos?
That was something. Oh, this is incredible. Very, very scary.
Reality is always more unbelievable than anything we could have imagined.
We're literally on the cutting edge.
Unreal.
Hi, I'm Hari Srinivasan from the PBS NewsHour.
And I'm Mark Brewer from WOUB.
Join me on PBS NewsHour and PBS NewsHour Weekend for the latest news and analysis of the issues that matter most to you.
Weeknights at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 5 right here on WOUB Public Media.
Welcome back to Newswatch Weather Center, and I'm your forecaster, Cameron Saliga. So right now, there are 47 degrees with partly sunny skies. Temps are decreasing, and skies are clearing as there's a high pressure moving throughout the area with winds at 4 miles per hour from the north-northwest. And right now, around the region, you can tell 51 in Columbus, as there is more sunlight there, and 50 in Newark. And as you make your way down to Athens and down into Ironton, you'll see the temps start to fall off around 47 and 48 with a high down south in Ripley of 50. And your record today for the high is an 89, and we've been below normal by 20 degrees. That's a lot of difference there. And today the low is lower than normal as there was a cold system moving through, and there's 0.2 of precip with your sunset at 8:10 p.m. and your record. And tonight, a freeze warning is in effect from 2 a.m. till 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and 30 degrees tonight will be your high, or your low, I'm sorry, with clear skies and winds from your north-northwest at 0 to 5 miles per hour. And your overnight, partly cloudy skies start in the area at 6 p.m., and by midnight it drops all the way down to 36 degrees, and clear skies throughout the entire night. At 6 a.m. it'll start at 30 degrees. And for your bus stop forecast, 33 degrees out there, chilly with sunny skies. So you're going to want to bundle them kids up, as it's going to be a really chilly morning with winds out of the north-northwest at 2 miles per hour. And it'll continue on into the day tomorrow with 56 degrees out there. It's going to be a pleasant day. It's going to be sunny in the entire day with winds at north-northwest at 5 miles per hour. And it'll be a nice day to go camping or hiking. And in Columbus, 54 tomorrow for your high, 56 in Athens, 57 down in Ripley. Sunshine throughout the area as the high pressure is going to move through the area and dominate this weekend. And here's your hour by hour tomorrow. It'll start at 33 at 8 a.m. with sun, and by noon, 48 with sun, and by 4 p.m. it'll be 55 with temps maxing after that. And with your 7-day, here's, you can tell, the weekend is going to be around 60s, and by your work week next week, it'll start to be 67 as there's a high pressure system moving throughout the area this weekend and being replaced by a low pressure that may bring some storms up into the Athens area to start your work week next week with temps up high in the 60s, so right around normal, and lows around the 40s. Back to you, Matt.
While people in Ohio are hoping for warmer weather, heat waves are killing corals in the Great Barrier Reef. A new study published in the journal Naturals says climate change is to blame. Researchers say a rise in global heat has increased over the last 3 years. Marine experts say it will take at least 10 years for coral to recover.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Tyler Corbett, and last night there was a major matchup in TVC Hawking baseball. And on top of that, we had a showdown with the Buckeyes for Ohio softball. That's all coming up next on Newswatch. And stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Feel my face anymore.
You're doing good. You're just a little slow. Welcome to madness.
I'm expecting the unexpected. The chicken feet really put me in a foul mood.
Join us for Family Ingredients Season 2.
Show me your mayonnaise, and I'll tell you who you are.
I can't wait to have a taste.
Now that's crispy.
Hello, I'm Paula Kerger, president of PBS. I'd like to tell you about a terrific new membership benefit called PBS Passport. With a qualifying donation, Passport brings more than 1,000 hours of great PBS and local programming to your computer, phone, or digital media player. You can catch up on shows you may have missed or revisit some of your favorites. The best part is that you can watch whenever you want. When you make your qualifying donation, you'll help to make all of the programs you love on this station possible, so don't delay. I know that you're going to love PBS Passport, so please make that donation right now. And thank you for your support.
Welcome back. I'm Tyler Corbett. And as I said, the biggest matchup in TVC Hawking baseball was last night between Eastern and Waterford. It was a cagey affair between the two teams all the way at the top of the standings in the Hawking, and it took extra innings to decide. The game was tied at 1 and had to go to extras when Noah Huffman stepped up to bat. You can call him Kung Fu Noah with a Midas touch. There ain't no fastball that he don't touch, because he went yard in the bottom of the 8th inning to give Waterford the walk-off victory 2-1. Eastern is still seen as an elite team, and there's a good chance these teams see each other come postseason play. And now let's talk about some Bobcat softball. The Ohio State University? Please. I'll take Ohio University any day of the week. The Bobcats had that mentality too, as they beat Ohio State last night 7-0. Mackenzie Brunswick hit a bases-clearing triple in the first to give the Bobcats a 4-0 lead, and there was no looking back from then on. Danielle Stein was dominant on the mound, giving up no earned runs in a complete 7-inning game. This is Ohio's first win against Ohio State since 2014, and their first win in Columbus since 1997. Now, that same luck was not on Ohio baseball's side last night when they took on Marshall. There was high hope for the Bobcats at the beginning of the game after Michael Klein's grand slam, but the game slowly spiraled away from the Cats. Ohio would only score twice more in the contest and fell to Marshall 7-6. Ohio found themselves down 7-4 in the bottom of the inning, and they plated those aforementioned 2 runs, but that was all they could muster, and Ohio falls 7-17 and 19 on the season. Ohio next travels to Kent to take on the Golden Flashes. And another Ohio team lost a close game. This time it was the Cleveland Indians. Still in Puerto Rico, the Indians and Minnesota Twins needed more than 9 innings to decide their game last night. The Indians and Twins were in the 14th. Yes, you heard that right, the 14th, when Edwin Encarnacion hit a home run. Now that lead wouldn't last long as Miguel Sano would answer right back. And finally in the 16th inning, Ryan Lamare came through with a base hit to score Eddie Rosario. 2-1 is your final there. And now, I have one word for you all. LeBron, as in LeBron James. Many were saying LeBron was not assertive enough in the Cavs' Game 1 loss to the Pacers, so he made it his mission to score as much as he could. LeBron scored the game's first 16 points and had 20 points alone in the first quarter. LeBron was scoring inside, outside, and everywhere in between. The NBA's best player put his Cavs on his back, scoring 46 points and helping lead the Cavs to a victory. Cavs tied the series at 1, heading over to Indianapolis. And to put it nicely for Reds fans, they haven't been very good. In fact, they own the MLB's worst record. And after stumbling out the gate to a 3-15 record, the Reds fired their manager, Brian Price. Price never won more than 80 games as manager. And this might be seen as a good thing for the Reds as they've been in the basement of the NL Central. So it seemed clear a choice had to be made. The Reds named bench coach Jim Riggleman their interim manager until a full-time replacement can come at the end of the season. I myself am a little excited to see if the Reds can finally turn things around.
Yeah, it's been a tough season there for the Reds fans. I think they might need some cheering up.
Yeah, they definitely need some positivity in their life right now.
Yeah.
And I hear you've got some for us.
Yeah, I have a pretty nice story. It's a cute story here. Baby chicks are not cute enough, but they're even cuter when they're penguins. These 4 blue penguin chicks are only a few days old at the New England Aquarium. So if you're looking for a place to road trip this summer, you might want to add Boston to that list. The blue penguin can be found in Australia and New Zealand. And fun fact, they are the smallest of all the penguin species. And if you're sad about missing out on the hatching of these chicks, chicks from 2 other penguin species are expected to hatch at the aquarium later this spring.
Welcome back to Newswatch Weather. I'm your forecaster, Cameron Saliga, and as you can tell, on a 7-day, this weekend will be very nice as the high pressure system moves into the area. 56 your high tomorrow, with a 60 Saturday for a high, and Sunday will be a nice 65 to end your nice weekend. Go take a hike, camp with some friends, and on Monday, start your work week, 67 degrees as your high to start your work week with a low 44, and throughout the end of the rest of the week is around 64 and into the 60s. And your hour by hour tomorrow, it's going to be 33 degrees tomorrow to start your day off, and by midday it'll be around 48 degrees, and to end your day off it's going to be a nice 55 degrees out there and sunny the entire day. Back to you, Matt.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Cudahy. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.